Many businesses use surveillance cameras simply for recording in the event something goes wrong. But what if you could do more with your existing surveillance camera system? What if it could be used to track customer activity and employee productivity in the retail space, watch over properties by getting real-time alerts on security events, give more comprehensive feedback on visitors to trade shows, get information on vehicles speeding or going in wrong direction on streets or premises, identify abnormal activities to maintain law and order, allow loved ones to monitor residents in senior living centers, visualize efficiency in distribution centers. That's where DURANC comes in. DURANC is a cloud-based artificial intelligence platform that works with any internet-connected camera and provides a wealth of insights you can act on. With low monthly fees, now is the time to try DURANC.
I would like to introduce about DURANC. DURANC vision is to help businesses and organizations maximize the potential of their surveillance camera. So many of the installations have large installations like over 100 cameras and 500 cameras. Some of the large hospitals have more than 1,000 cameras. So how do you maximize the potential of these CCTV cameras? To do this, they have built a very secure, reliable, and cost-effective video management system that provides users with deep intelligence, analytics, and insights in real time. Founded in 2015, they gathered a highly talented global team to create cloud-based platform. DURANC innovative video streaming and storage technology offers clients the ultimate in video surveillance functionality, delivered seamlessly from the cloud. Headquartered in US, Finland, they have an R&D, and overall the entire software development and global support is given from India. This is myself, Dominic, very passionate to bring technologies, bring the brand, build the brand, create a need for them. This is my hobby and passion, which I've been doing since last 36 years. About Srini, both Srini and Vamsi, if you look at it, inspired by Atmanirbhar Bharat, they spent their good time abroad, and they see India is the strongest market, the future of the market. So they are developed center. Their developed center is now in Hyderabad. They're based out of Hyderabad. They are now helping all our businesses across the country to who has the CCTV R&D project. They would like to see developed Indian software, which is equivalent. Probably they're exporting to various countries. They would like to see Atmanirbhar Bharat product is used in India. So Srini, again, is the CRO of DURANC Tech Services, over 22 years of experience in various industries ranging from financial market, real estate, automobile, and IT. His global work experience and extensive travel gave him keen understanding of world market. He's the co-founder and CEO of DURANC Inc., a leading provider of VMS. He has been instrumental in shaping the product designs and features and providing market insight. Being a voracious reader and extensive traveler, he is a strong believer in the concept of innovation ideas coupled with strategic implementation and commercialization lead to create job and wealth. This is a mantra. This mantra can lead corporate India to become a world economic leader. Wonderful statement is by Srini. We have the second speaker, Vamsi Krishna, who is the Chief Operating Officer of DURANC Tech Services. With 25 years of experience, cross-functional management experience in project management, operation, technology, infrastructure, people, and customer management. He has extensive experience in dealing with cross-cultural teams and customers across the globe, including US, Europe, South Africa, and Middle East. As a head of operation of DURANC for the past 8 years, he has overseen development, implementation, and support of cutting-edge DURANC Vision Smart Surveillance solutions. As a technical evangelist, advocate and help customer benefit from and understand the limitation of the technological innovations in the surveillance industry. Ladies and gentlemen, this is our second series that we are running on video management system. We will be having on 29th of October, on warehouses and logistics centers. So every month we are planning to come out with VMS application on certain market segment. I'm sure these are our learning. We learn to know what else our Indian company who are in competition with various global players, how we can make DURANC solution also at par with any technology that's available. I now welcome Srini to give his opening remarks, and later Vamshi will talk on the technical of VMS. Over to Srini.
Thank you, Dominic. Good evening, everyone. Thank you for participating and giving us the time. I welcome one and all. DURANC has been with the vision of doing more with existing surveillance infrastructure. So that is our primary mantra. You see cameras everywhere nowadays in every facility. But are we utilizing those cameras for specific purpose or for something beyond the specific purpose? The specific purpose of surveillance cameras has been traditionally evidence management and a reactive way of retrieving something out of it and then doing analysis after the fact of whatever happens. That's the primary goal and role of the CCTV infrastructure that's been implemented, be it pharma, be it diagnostics, or outside healthcare. Everywhere, that is what is the primary thing. But DURANC has come forward to look beyond what the specific purpose of surveillance cameras. Are we utilizing the cameras just for the sake of reactive analysis, or do we have much more beyond that? Do we use them for predictive analytics? Just a simple example of you have cameras watching your facility and you have the data collected out of it in peak times and peak hours, the people movement, how many number of people are coming in specific season over a period of 5 years or 4 years, and then mining of that data and analyzing that data to do the predictive analytics of future, to do the staffing, optimal staffing. All those things can be done not just with the data, but the data that is coming out of surveillance cameras. So that's where we are in terms of utilizing the existing CCTV infrastructure, or by adding a little bit more cameras and then doing business analysis and the functional analysis of your business. So if surveillance cameras support much beyond the evidence purpose, then you have much more opportunity in terms of operational efficiency improvements and predictive analytics. All these things can be built on top of your existing infrastructure. Cameras are watching for your premises, but is camera doing a job beyond what it is supposed to do? Just watching? That's the question that we're going to answer today. And we're going to talk about a lot of this analytics that can be built on top of surveillance cameras. May not be every use case is already pre-built into the system, because AI is evolving. The use cases are many more, but it's possible to build your use case, and it is possible to address your problem and the pain and collecting data from CCTV. Having said that, I'll hand over back to Dominic.
Yeah, this time, as I said, we are focusing on pharma and healthcare, managing security, people, and asset. We would like to hear from Vamshi, how DURANC can be unique VMS when compared to others, and how can it delivers to the participant who are here attending and listening to you. Over to you.
Sure. Thank you, Dominic. Thank you, everyone, for taking the time today, this evening, and joining us. We hope this will be a good session and we will make it worth your time. What I would probably do is try to share my screen. I have a few slides which will help me walk you through what we wanted to communicate today. I hope now the screen is visible for you.
Yes, Vamshi.
Yeah, clear.
So basically, the topic that we wanted to cover today is smart surveillance through AI, how healthcare organizations can benefit through implementing a smart surveillance solution. So, in no other field, technology has impacted more than on healthcare. I would like to start with just a quick slider that shows this in real time. Whereas the year that I was born in 1974, the life expectancy was about 50 years for a human being. So that means I would have probably less than 2 years more to live now. Whereas today, with all the advancements in healthcare, the expectancy, this is specific to India, not worldwide statistics. So when I Google, this is what comes up, right? So today it's 70 years. That means I have probably 20 more years to look forward to and to contribute to society, to family, etc. So this is how the impact has been of technology on healthcare. Then everywhere it has impacted our lives. We know that technology has impacted our lives tremendously, whether it is internet, your 4G, 5G today, etc. But for all that impact, for all those comforts that we get, we first need to live. And healthcare is the one that is allowing me to live and then take benefit of all the other technological improvements in other fields. So the impact that healthcare had, the impact that technology had on healthcare is huge, impacting directly the lives of the mankind. So how does what does this matter to us, and how else can we use it? It's all direct use in terms of your medications, procedures, etc. But whatever we have been using for administrative purposes, does that also have some impact? Technology, would it have some impact on those aspects as well, not directly related to medication? And that's what we are going to cover today. Currently, what we're doing with surveillance is basically we plan a lot when an establishment comes up, or when you review your plans, your floor plans, your structure, everything. So we plan a lot. We decide where all the cameras should go, what all we want to monitor, keeping in mind the considerations for privacy, keeping in mind considerations for safety and security of the staff, and also the patients and whoever comes into the facilities, etc. So considering all those factors, what we do is we set up the cameras, fix them properly, set up the recordings for them, and then we forget. And that's what happens. Unless some incident happens, only then we will go back and see what has happened, whether it is some damage to property or some liability claim arises, etc., etc. Then we go back and see what has happened, look at the recording, try to take the video footage, try to gather some evidence, and then prove or take some action on it. This is what typically happens in a CCTV setup. That's what is the current state of affairs, typically in almost 90% of the locations. It's a pretty reactive approach, as we can easily figure. But then, is it possible to do more? As Mr. Srinivas mentioned in his opening remarks, the basic idea is to see this passive data that keeps on coming. The eyes keep on watching all the time. We may sleep, but the camera doesn't. And 24 hours, it is witness to everything that happens. And can we take that data and gather some insights? That's what we have grappled that question with. And then with that question, DURANC was born. DURANC was born a few years ago with the idea of doing more with surveillance. That's our mantra of doing more, specifically focusing on the surveillance side of things. We have built the solution based on these 4 pillars. These 4 founding pillars for us are to be a device and network agnostic. I think somebody has raised a hand. Do we take the questions now or at the end of the session? Dominic, probably if you could advise, please.
Yeah, we can take at the end of the session. So
Okay,
that
thank
would be
you.
better because there'll be a lot of questions in the Q&A box also. So
Perfect. Thank you. So I will move on. So basically, the idea is to build a solution which is completely device and network agnostic. That means any camera that's already deployed, that's already installed, we should be able to make use of that particular camera. We should be able to connect to that without restricting of which make or model you have, whether you have one location, whether you have 50 locations. Irrespective of that, we should be able to bring in all of those for centralized administration, for centralized monitoring, and storage recording purposes. So no matter where we are, we should have access to the camera feeds, both live as well as recordings. That's the first aspect of it. And the second aspect is in terms of a solution that is completely flexible to the needs, because when you build a particular product, though you try to keep the solution as flexible as possible, because the use cases would vary depending on the specific needs of each site. So you want a solution that's completely flexible, allows you to decide, for example, how many days of storage you need for at a camera level. So not that you have 16 channel or 32 channel, whatever you know of, and you have those cameras connected and they are recording. If the disk size is full, then it will delete the older recordings, giving you X number of days of storage per camera. That's the typical standard scenario. But what if you can decide and choose for every camera, depending on the importance of that particular location, you can choose how many days of storage you would need on at a camera level. Similarly, the resolution level. So all that flexibility is provided in the solution. Even in terms of deployment models, there are various types. One size never fits all, and the solution also has to be flexible and scalable. That somebody can say cloud is okay for us, and then there is nothing to deploy. You simply connect to the cloud, and then you have all the features that are provided by the platform. Some of them, they're depending on the size of the organization, depending on the needs of that specific location, etc. They may say, no, we need entire thing deployed in our premises. So complete on-prem deployment or a hybrid model in between. So any of that, that flexibility and scalability is provided by the solution, depending on the specific needs of your needs. Then because of the importance of security nowadays, and it has to be inbuilt, it can't be added, it can't be an afterthought or a second thought. Security has to be built in from ground zero to ensure that all the communication is encrypted. The solution is accessible only through fully secure models, end-to-end encrypted solutions with zero trust security levels built in. And that's what is the third pillar of our solution. The fourth pillar is the artificial intelligence, which is the subject of our discussion also today, which will take up more of our discussion, is the artificial intelligence, the possibilities that it provides with the AI when we process the video feed that comes in from the cameras with computer vision and machine learning, wherein we build custom network models. These network models are built in-house in DURANC, so we can customize to specific requirements as well. It's not tied to any specific one particular vertical, one particular use case, but we can build solutions that can detect, for example, newer type of objects, newer type of anomalies, etc., can be detected and alerted. That's the major fourth pillar of it, along with integrating with existing systems. That's also very critical because no one-stop solution. It's not a world of having just one-stop single solution for all your needs. So we will have disparate systems, different systems that have different capabilities deployed in the setup. And we need these systems to talk to each other, interoperate with each other. And that's a definite requirement. And that's the fourth pillar on which DURANC is been built. These are the major aspects of the solution. Now, when we look at the solution, it all looks good, but then what is it we were talking about doing more? What is that more that we can do with surveillance? So we will address that question specifically in terms of what are those things that we can do more, especially on healthcare and hospitals and diagnostic centers, etc. But before, just a few seconds before we get into that more, this is typically our goals that we would like to achieve. And this is what is our mission, to ensure that our premises are safe and secure. Because giving healthcare or providing Medicare is one aspect of it, and equally important is to ensure the safety and security of all the people that are in your premises, whether it's patient or caretakers or staff or the relatives of them. So that's equally important as providing the actual Medicare. That's a definitely important step. Then ensuring you have a better risk management capability. Like, for example, with AI, we can do minimum staffing. Our crowd formation can be detected in your emergency area. Those can be detected for better managing your risks. We can manage compliance in a better way, whether people are wearing the PPE kit or not, etc. So those compliances when they enter ICU, for example, right? So these compliances can be checked automatically by the system through the use of AI. Then you have SOP adherence to ensure that, for example, based on your SOPs, and these can be specific to specific hospitals or requirements. One generic example is a wheelchair patient should not be traveling alone, should not move around alone. There should be an attendant. Those kind of things can be checked with the AI. So for all of these things, you're optimizing the resources and conducting centralized audits of it. All of it, end goal for us is to ensure we have improved customer service, and that's our primary area. And AI helps in all of these aspects. What it does is basically taking the feed from any camera, having intelligence, processing all the data that's coming from all the cameras that you already have, processing that, providing you real-time notifications, alerting you to take specific actions that are required to be taken, getting into incident management rather than reactive evidence management purposes. So this is our goal. And with that in mind, now let us understand what is it that surveillance now we can do. What is that more that we can do? It can provide situational awareness. Like, for example, crowd formation in emergency or patient waiting area. So you can better manage your staff. You can redirect staff to address specific needs, especially, and the needs are different for different locations also. The hospital in the city may have different needs compared to a hospital in a two-tier or a three-tier town, for example, especially in terms of staffing. How many staff you would have probably in the night time, what kind of security you may have, and what kind of alerts would make sense for you would be different compared to a hospital that has a 24/7 security in a city like Hyderabad, for example. So these, keeping in these things in mind, we can build the appropriate right solution that can address to your specific requirements. Whether the staff are present at the nursing station or reception area, or it could be a pharmacy, whether they are appropriately staffed or not. You can say, I need minimum 2 people to be there at any given point of time. And if it is less than 2 people, the system can give you an alert, so you can take an action on it. A few more examples of what is possible. We spoke about a PPE kit being worn or not. The system can check that. The system can check if any vehicles are blocking the entry points for ambulances or on the corridors, for example, if there is any abnormality on the corridors, people rushing around, or if there are leftover plates that are not cleaned beyond a certain point of time, etc. And automatically tracking all the vehicle entry exits. So you don't need to have a manual track. Nobody needs to sit and enter all the vehicle numbers coming in, going out. You have automated number plate detection with the software, with the AI. That's possible. Few more examples, in terms of your SOP compliance, for example, patients should not be left alone unattended on a stretcher, or patient falling down. Patients with critical care needs, high-risk patients such as dementia or patients with psychological illnesses, etc. They should not be venturing out beyond the designated areas. That can also be checked by the system. Any objects blocking the pathways can be checked. Any intrusions at night are not having sufficient staff, etc., can be done. All of these, the artificial intelligence, you can schedule it to run at specific points of time also. It's not that, you need to check or do things on 24/7. You can see what makes sense at each location and then apply the AI for that particular period of time. And there are some specific custom requirements that we worked on. This is for hospitals in the US, though. These are not probably applicable. The second one is not applicable in India, at least in the southern part of the region. They had issues with icing on the vaporizers, which they wanted to track if there is any vapor that is the icing that is formed on the vaporizers for oxygen cylinders area there. They wanted a notification and they wanted to keep track of it on an hourly basis. Similarly, in terms of the water meter level on the oxygen tank, they have defined what is the reorder level based on their capacity there at that location, what is the reorder level and the alarm point. Then we, based on the system would check the reading. These are analog meters, but the system can check the actual reading and then give the notifications to appropriate personnel as required. So the things are, the possibilities are limitless. They're limited only by the need that we have and the imagination that we can have and the intent to implement the solutions. That's the only limitation for AI. But I would like to also point out that AI is not all. I mean, it's not a silver bullet that does everything, and you don't need to implement AI for everything. It's for certain simple things that prove quite useful. We don't even need to go to the level of AI. The simple video management system that has capability to connect your existing locations itself will prove very invaluable, because you can do centralized auditing with single sign-on. With just one login to the platform, if you connect all your locations, you would have eyes on every location to see what's going on, whether they are following the appropriate procedures or not, etc. You can verify it from a central location. You can conduct the audits. You can also get automated reports on a daily basis. For example, your a diagnostic chain, for example, you can have a look at, you can get a daily email notification in the morning of all the open closing times of your locations. For each location, what was the footfall, etc. So this even without huge AI or customized AI, these are possible to be done right off the top of the bat. So it's easy to take advantage of a solution that keeps in mind the requirements, specific requirements that the healthcare industry has. So from a solution perspective, moving on to what it takes to implement such a solution, I fall back on the familiar ADKAR model, which is used in managing change, because what we are talking about is now a change from a reactive CCTV to considering it as a proactive aid, as an asset for us. So when we look at this change for change management as an ADKAR, the first thing that we need is the awareness of the possibilities, awareness of the technologies. And that's what we aim to do with these webinars, basically, to bring in awareness and to bring in, to get an understanding of what are the possibilities, because all possibilities may not be required for everyone, depending on who needs what, or what are the things that you would need, those can be implemented. But awareness is the bare minimum. We need to have that awareness, and we aim to bring in that awareness through these webinars. And to improve on the desire to improve, desire to challenge the status quo, why not this? Why can we not do this? That kind of a thought process, the desire to implement something new, something useful to improve the customer satisfaction. That's the second important aspect of what it takes to implement the solution like a smart surveillance. And the knowledge of the processes, of your own processes, because we talked about adherence to SOPs, for example. We need to have that understanding, and we need to also have that understanding, because we are not from your background. We need to get that understanding as well in terms of what are the specific processes from your end that would benefit by implementing AI, of the environmental conditions, of the processes, etc. And then the ability to commit the required resources, commit the required time to implement and gain benefit of it. Because awareness is the first step, and then it doesn't mean anything if we don't have the desire to implement something. And desire is not enough if we don't have knowledge. And without knowledge, obviously, nothing will succeed. But just having knowledge is not enough. We need to have the ability as well, ability to commit and to see through the challenges that arise. And that's most important aspect. And finally, the reinforcement to constantly keep re-evaluating the implementations and take any detours if required to fine-tune the setup, etc. This is what it takes in terms of implementing the smart surveillance solution. And how do we choose that? What do we choose, or which one do we choose? These are the important aspects to be able to choose the right solution or the right provider. The first thing is whether the solution gives you proactive notifications. It's not just for reactive evidence management purpose, but whether it can give you notifications proactively so you can take immediate steps. Then whether the solution is scalable and flexible. So it's not just one single silver bullet, but whether you can tune it to your specific needs or not. Think of not just a CCTV monitoring room, but think of incident management as your goal. If there is an incident, you need to be aware. Otherwise, there is no point in watching camera feeds 24/7. So that's a crucial aspect of the requirement. And finally, it's not a CCTV vendor, but it's a technology partner that you would need, because the needs are different for each environment and location. So the implementation of a smart surveillance requires a consultative approach, and it's not a sales approach. I have something and then I try to sell it. So it's not a sales approach, but a consultative approach that is required to take benefit of the smart surveillance solutions. And that means you need to choose a technology partner who can work with you and walk the stretch along with you. That's how you can progress in terms of the implementation. And what the journey entails is this. And you plan for what are the areas, you prioritize which ones to take up first. You identify the requirements of where what of the examples that we spoke about, which one make more sense to you in terms of your priority, your plans. Plan for that. Then build the appropriate AI models. Some of them may be available off the shelf, some of them may be built tailor-made for you, but we need to be able to build that and deploy that properly to take the benefit of it. Then refine it, because what works today, the needs would keep changing, and we need to be able to fine-tune that, refine the models, refine your processes, because as the processes change, then the solution needs to adapt to that, and providing continuous support for you, who can be there with you, who can walk along with you in this journey, is what is required. That's what sums up. And I'd also like to mention that and I'll take an example of the WhatsApp, which Dr. Vijay Agarwal was telling me recently, that WhatsApp, as an example, was not built for healthcare. It was basically built just as a communication tool. But then what it is doing today in healthcare is tremendous value. It is probably the most used telemedicine tool in the world today, with all the consultations happening virtually, sharing of X-rays, reports, everything. But it was not conceived to be a healthcare or telemedicine tool, but that's where it is today. Similarly, I would like to think of the DURANC vision as a solution that was built to do more with surveillance, not specific to healthcare, but then the possibilities of what is possible with the consultative approach, with the team that we have, with people like you in the audience, we can definitely take through the journey, and we don't know what the future would hold for this particular solution. And the best way to predict the future is, as my favorite leader, world leader, Abraham Lincoln said, the best way to predict the future is to create it. And we are here to create it along with you. We can be your partners in that journey, and we can implement the smart solutions that fit the needs.
Thank you.
With that, I end, Dominic, and back to you.
Thank you, MC. Thank you very much. And we are today very honored to have the guest from Bhutan, Kinle Namgyel, who is also the Chief of Security of the country from Bhutan. So I know him since a couple of years, and I had invited him to, attend. Everybody knows about Bhutan, the world best, green country in the world with zero emissions. So. Kinle sir, hope you are there. You can hear me out while I'm, thanking you for participating in the very interactive session. So, thank you, sir. And we have good audience this time. From most of them are security related, security officers, and few are from the hospitality. So I would request those who wish to know more about, surveillance, storage, data, AI, please put your questions. And those who want to talk, just raise your hand. I know the Mohan Mutana Pradiksha has raised her hand. So when you raise a hand, I will just add you in the panel, and you can directly talk to either speaker Vamshi or Srini. So we will now take up Pradeep, who's raised a hand. Pradeep Shah, you're now welcome to talk to the speaker. You can unmute and please ask your question. Okay, while Pradeep joins, we have a couple of questions. Chidambaram is asking, can we compare with other video analytics software like Milestone? Vamshi?
Yeah, so I was just typing the answer for that. Thank you for your question, Mr. Chidambara. So typically what we see in the industry is there are people focusing on one or the two of these things. The first is focusing on the video management system. So when you, for example, the example you took of Milestone is a video management system, which focuses on the managing the video from one location across locations, etc. There are other people who are focusing specifically on the artificial intelligence side of things, the video analytics or the video content analysis, whatever name you give. So there are people focusing on purely VMS. There are people focusing purely on the AI side of things, not as in one integrated solution. So what DURANC provides is an integrated solution. You don't need to get to a third party to get intelligent alerts. So it is a combination, an integrated video management and video analytics solution. For any more details, we can get in touch offline. I hope that addresses the question.
I have added you there. Added you in the dialogue. If you are audible, you can unmute and you can speak, because you asked another question is, what is the licensing model, SaaS or perpetual licensing? And another question you asked is software companies appliance, or we need to build server and storage? With your questions, I understand that you are very much aware of VMS. If you are hearing me out and you can unmute and probably have this question answered by the speaker. Since you are not unmuting, I'm going with Arvind Kamath. Can the artificial intelligence in your system be interfaced with fire protection systems such as sprinkler system to operate when a fire is detected? Since I'm from the fire industry, mostly we do not allow neither National Building Code or the state will not allow any fire system to be integrated with the third party, especially in activating the sprinkler. If there is no fire and sprinkler just operated is as good as fire, because it can damage the the area. So they do not encourage to integrate. However, yes, if there is an abnormal activity like water spray coming on, if somebody activated the sprinkler, the VMS can detect, and let you know there is a water spray in the particular area, or the fire of the smoke is generated. The cameras can detect, and analytic can pick up and report that to your central command. So otherwise, it is not possible. The government or the standard or the statutory bodies will not allow you. Okay, false detection, you mean? Okay, false detections. And what false detection you're talking about? If you can, Arvind Kamath, if you can define that, we'll be able to answer that. Okay, so we have Chidambaram, are you there? And Major Kinley sir, if you are there, we would like to have Chidambaram. You have any question to ask?
Yeah, good afternoon. I'm able to. Are you able to hear me?
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah. See, this analytic software, what you have told, is actually any one analytic and other one actually is different. How actually it is licensed? Means each session actually or each camera is actually does actually the different captures. Okay, so how actually it will be licensed?
Okay, Vamshi, thanks, Mr. Chidambaram, for asking that question. That's one of the huge differentiating factor of DURANC in the technology stack that we have. And earlier, some other question came: what is the competitive edge that DURANC got compared to the other VMS. Vamshi has clearly explained that we are an integrated platform, both VMS and inbuilt analytics. A fleet of analytics are already built into the system, which are ready to be used on the fly. So the license model that we adapted was very flexible model. When you buy a concurrent license, we don't restrict you to use on any single camera. So if, for example, you have a bunch of 50 cameras and then you have taken only one single license of analytic, right? We don't restrict you to use only LPR or face detection or zone intrusion or perimeter detection. So we have all the analytics that are there in the list, which can be given when if somebody is interested, we can send an email and then do a product demo to them separately. So this one concurrent license, you can actually split and use it on different cameras. Just an example, you have a facility where you have an entrance. So you buy one concurrent license, you apply that license to the front camera and start doing people counting in the daytime, like you scheduled it for 8 a.m. in the morning to 8 a.m. in the evening, right? So that feed that is coming out of that front camera is being analyzed for the people counting. Okay, after 8 o'clock, what do you want to do? You have a storeroom from 8 o'clock since till 3 o'clock in the morning. You reschedule this analytic process to go into that camera, apply a zone intrusion, human zone intrusion, not animals, no false detection, no motion based, it's pure AI, and then do a zone intrusion on that camera, and that is notified to the security from 8 o'clock to 3 o'clock in the morning, right? And from 3 o'clock to still 8 o'clock, you still have a window open to use it. Then you apply that 4 hours or 5 hours to a perimeter where you see morning time, some animals are coming in, right? So you schedule that to the compound wall perimeter area so that if there is any animals are spotted in that time, you get a notification. So if you see you are actually buying one analytical license, but you are using 3 different processes on 3 different cameras, right? And then these 3 different cameras are giving notifications to 3 different end users. So the system is very, very flexibly built in, and the license is very optimized in terms of your utilization. Vamshi, if you want to add anything, please go ahead.
No, sir, I guess nothing to add from my side.
Mr. Chidambaram, is that answers your question?
Yes.
All right, thank you.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you, Chidambaram. Arun KK is asking, can we do health check of camera through AI? Health check of camera through AI.
Vamshi, go ahead, Vamshi.
Yes, health check is integrated into our solution. So you will know if the camera is down for any reason. If the camera is not streaming live or its camera is not recording, you would get a notification. You can also see it on the platform of the health of all the connected devices.
So it's pre-built into the system. Every connected camera is automatically health monitored. So
thank you so much, Srini and Vamshi. The objective is to continuously educate people who are surveillance. CCTV is something now common. Everybody has the camera, but they don't know that these cameras can do much more than what they're seeing on the monitor. That is the objective of these programs that we are running, series of programs. And those who are interested in DURANC solutions, we have mentioned the email ID of both the speaker. Any technical questions, or you want a exclusive presentation to your team, want to educate or train your people? Yes, they will be more than willing to do it. And those who are contractor or system integrator, they are looking for partners in the region who could probably add value to your installation which you already have, and how can you derive maximum benefit through the CCTV camera that is there in your projects. So I would like to thank both Vamshi and Srini for taking time. We are wonderfully, capturing this whole thing in less than 1 hour. And we have completed all the questions. I would request all the participants be in touch with us, and we will come back to you again on warehouse and logistics center, the AI and the VMS, how important to those sector. So we'll be doing it very soon. We'll let you know with the link and to register. Meanwhile, we'll share this video of what Vamsi is presented and what Srini has spoken about. We will share to all those registered participants to this. You have a great weekend, and look forward to see you again. And please do come in our next webinar. Thank you very much. God bless you. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Dominic. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.